Welcome to Innovation Dialogue. I'm Diana Ding, and today we want to talk about plug and play. Plug and play is one of the most influential accelerator and incubator in Silicon Valley. I really like the name, plug and play. It sounds so easy, just plug and you start to play. And why they're so successful, each time you walk into the plug and play, you see the passionate entrepreneurs and VCs, and each time the events is so exciting. So when we were there, I interviewed the founder and CEO of Plug and Play, Mr. Saeed Amidi. Let's hear his story. Yeah, so right now we are with Saeed Amidi, and he's a founder for Plug and Play. So what's make Plug and Play special? What makes this place special?
You know, I think most importantly is the entrepreneurs that are here, give the positive energy, the enthusiasm. And again, we've been operating Plug and Play for about 8 years, and we have had 2,000 startups go through Plug and Play, which I think those are the heartbeat of what makes Plug and Play special. But also we really appreciate our corporate partners, our venture partners that invest in these companies to make them realize their dreams.
So when did you start this, and how did you come up with this idea?
We started Plug and Play in 2006, and the way we came up with the idea is we had a little building in Palo Alto, California, on University Avenue, where Google, for example, started with 3 people and grew to be 50 people. And also PayPal, Peter Thiel and Max Levchin started there. And we were able to have a chance to invest in PayPal. So the idea was, through this building, the real estate platform and a community, we had opportunity to invest in some great companies. So the idea became more relevant, that we said if we have a big building, we have more startup and more opportunity to get to know the entrepreneurs. So nowadays, at any given time, we have about 300 startups in Plug and Play.
Yeah, I think that you're probably the first one to start this, but right now there are so many other people doing the same thing, like incubator, and especially incubators from China coming all over. And how do you see this, and what's the difference between you and all the others?
So first of all, I think the entrepreneurs are all over the world. I think they need help. They need to be mentored. They need financing. They need a community to learn from and grow. So I feel as many incubators, accelerators run around the world, the better. You know, a lot of people say, Saeed, like for example, I think in the Bay Area now, we have more than 20 accelerators and co-working spaces. But quite frankly, we don't feel the competition.
Why?
We feel, first, I think if you believe in what you're doing and you do it with passion and the entrepreneurs are successful, you know, you get your share of exciting companies. But nevertheless, there is a lot of entrepreneurs which need help. And some may choose to go to Y Combinator, some may choose to come to us. So in general, I feel is an excellent platform for entrepreneurs. I started my company 30 years ago, my first company. Actually, now that I think about it, it was 34 years ago. So I was very young, 19 years old. I would have dreamed about a place like this where you could meet other entrepreneurs. They would tell you the challenges, the roadmap, and perhaps also they would invest in you.
So who invested on you at the very beginning?
Very good. We call it family and friends and fools. So actually my father was the one that gave us about 6 months worth of runway. I think at that time it was about $20,000. And in fact, we didn't succeed to turn cash flow positive in 6 months. And we were really scared that we were going to shut down. We had hard time paying the rent. Actually, the building that I had a hard time paying the rent is the building that we bought.
Oh.
And then Google was in there and PayPal was in there.
So what was the turning point?
So the turning point is like your first 2-3 customers, and then I would call it repeat customers. And if they are satisfied and they believe in your product or your service, then you could build on that and grow. And that's what I always tell the entrepreneurs. You have to work in sort of blocks of goals and objectives. And if you reach that level, of course it's challenging, but that would be a little bit easier. Then you can set bigger goals. And my first goal when I started the business, it was not in technology, it was to become cash flow positive.
And you made that. Actually, a long time ago, when you started your company, the situation is not as good as today. But today, there are so many like incubators or investors to help those people to start up their company. But for you as a VC, and how do you see a value for the very early startup?
You know, I think again it's very important for a lot of people say if you can raise money and you can build your dream is great. But I really believe in who you raise the money from is almost more important than the money itself. Because if you raise money, for example, myself from my father, and he was a great businessman. So I used to go to him at least once a week for advice, for challenges I was facing. So you have to raise money or be part of a community that can help you solve problems, help you solve challenges. Of course, also you need the money to go around and to build your team.
But besides the money, and what is the biggest challenge you think for the startups?
You know, I think the biggest challenge is original core team, getting the culture and the vision right, and then getting the product built. So we really are part of a school that we say you should make the minimum viable product, launch it, see what is the customer acceptance, and then retweak it. So that is, I believe, a challenge. A lot of entrepreneurs think they have to have a perfect product, and they wait too long to launch it.
So here in Plug and Play, what is your vision and what is the culture here?
So my vision here is to be part of the journey of the entrepreneur, have a positive impact in their challenges that could be based on helping them to crystallize their idea, build their team, raise money, and get their first client. And we hope to play a part. I always tell my entrepreneurs they have to do 99% of the work, but we are there to help with that 1%.
But that 1% is a trigger point. Yeah.
We hope so. We still, we have a lot of successful companies, but we will see what will happen in the future.
I believe that you see lots of successful companies, but still maybe majority of them failed. What's the main reason for them?
You know, the timing, sometimes we have great ideas, great entrepreneur, but the timing is not right. We just had here the founder of YouTube, and he said, his idea was not very original, sharing videos online, but the timing was right. People were uploading videos very easily. You could search them easily. So a lot of things have to work hand in hand to make the next Google or the next YouTube. And again, I also, as always, I say it's great to be lucky. And it's great to be speaking with you.
Yes, and thank you so much. And last question. Today we are talking about digital media, right? Do you think it's a timing, and what do you see the trend of this?
You know, I believe like one of my partner, Axel Springer and Abril in Brazil, I think the media industry is going to go through a big change. Initially, it started with print and newspaper, But I think in all different medias, there is going to be a very long tail producing content specifically for Saeed. And we feel that change that YouTube has initiated or Netflix has initiated, that you can watch anything you want, anytime you want, anywhere you want, I think is the beginning of the iceberg. And we will see a huge change in both media, and I believe mobile would be the main point of consuming content. So I think mobile first is really important, and personalized content is very important.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You probably noticed he was in such a hurry and he's so busy, he has to go. And we then worked around and met with some of the passionate startups. On that day, it's an event for the digital media. So there are so many startups in that field. So we kind of get hold of some startups and listen to their story. Yes, here we're with Roman Karatinsky, and he's the founder and CEO of News360. So tell us what's News360?
Yeah, so News360 is an app that learns what you're interested in. So you download it, sign up, tell us a little bit about yourself, connect whatever external accounts you might have where you interact with content like Facebook or Twitter, and then we'll use all of that to create an interest profile for you that'll tell us exactly what you like to read. And then we'll go around the web and find all the interesting content specifically for you and give you a single feed that has everything that's interesting, right? And as you use it, the app learns and gets better and better in understanding what you like. So after a couple of weeks, every story that we surface for you is going to be something you'll want to read.
Wow, can you give us a demo?
Yeah, of course. So this is what it looks like. This is basically my feed, and it's connected to this iPad here. So my feed is all about technology. It's about Berkeley because I live in Berkeley and I care about my sort of local community. It's about my hobbies like sailing and so on. And so every story here has been picked uniquely for me. And every time I open something, so I can go through this, and if I find something interesting, so for example, Coinvox is actually a company that's presenting here today as well. So I want to read about what they're doing. So I open the story and we reflow this story from TechCrunch to be a beautiful mobile reading experience. And every time I open something, it actually teaches my profile in News360 that this is something that I want to read, to find more stories like this one. And so slowly, bit by bit, this becomes a better and better judge of what I like and what I don't like. And so after a couple of weeks, as I said, so this is very, very, very attuned to what I'm interested in. Then you can give feedback, so I'm just going to say, I like this story, so I can kind of swipe up, say thumbs up. That gives us even more feedback to the algorithm that this is something I like. So we have.
Hi. Second Line is a platform online for scheduled, ticketed, interactive screenings. So we host events in the web browser for creators who are trying to reach their fans meaningfully and for money. And we do it by selling tickets to events that are recorded performances at a scheduled viewing time with a layer of real-time socialization.
So how do you make money, and how can people work with you to make money?
It's really simple. We've got a box office. So a lot of folks who are running media companies are thinking about getting tremendous views and then monetizing based on ads. For us, it's real simple. We just have a box office here. On a specific show page like this one, people will come, click, say buy ticket, and here they'll enter their credit card information, and immediately they're taken into the countdown to a specific event. So it's like buying a ticket to a show, except you show up in the browser.
So how many customers do you already have?
Each event varies. We've had hundreds of customers watch a single event as paying ticketed customers. And from those events, we're making thousands of dollars from a single video screening.
So have you got a funding yet?
Yeah, we've gotten friends and family funding, and we're looking for an additional round of seed funding now.
What's your see the future of your company?
I look at the future in 18 months from now, I want to be known in the creative community the same way that, say, Kickstarter is known. So instead of saying, oh, I'm going to kickstart this next project, a creator with a high-quality video would say, I'm going to host the Second Line and give my fans something that's special and a one-time only experience and make money while doing it.
It seems that it's very easy to copy. Where did this idea come from?
Where did the idea
come from?
The idea came from the fact of being a performer myself and thinking about the digital media landscape and wanting to find a way to create real-time experiences that performers can share without having to sing for their supper every night.
So each performer has to set a video by themselves, set up the video camera by themselves to do this.
In order to do it, all they need to do is work with their existing recorded performance footage. So we find that, in this case, the medium is film. So with filmmakers, they've already got the product. Many creators already archive and videotape their performances, and so we're just working with an existing inventory of films that are
So we are with Zacco Malenti, and he's a vice president of Speak to It. So what is Speak to It?
Speak to It is a natural language understanding platform, and a product that people mostly know us about is called Assistant. It's Speak to It Assistant. We're the most popular and the highest rated digital assistant on smartphone devices.
How do you know it's the most popular? How many people you have right now?
So we have more than 12 million downloads, more than 12 million registered users. Consumers are rating normally apps in app stores, and you have iOS App Store, you have Google Play App Store. So on Google Play App Store, by consumers, by more than 300,000 consumers, we've been rated 4.6, while, for instance, Google Now is rated 4.4. Nuance with Lingo is rated 4.4 as well, so we are higher rated in these big assistants.
So this Speak to It is like people talking to machine?
Exactly. So it's artificial intelligence solution that actually has this core natural language understanding platform, and we are not only in smartphones, we are also in cars, in connected home, in connected devices, so smart TVs, smart TV boxes, etc.
So how do you make money?
Both B2C part of the business and B2B. On the B2C part, we are selling premium edition of our app, which is $20 app, and even if so, we are basically the top grossing lifestyle category on Google Play. So that's one revenue stream, that's one business model, and the other one is with both OEMs, tier ones, and the others, basically helping them integrate our solution in their devices.
You are actually the business and the growth, you are in charge of this. So when the people are using your device, they have to be associated with cars or the TVs or all those things. So who are your partners right now?
At the moment, we have more than a dozen of both OEM, Tier 1, and aftermarket manufacturers. One of car aftermarket manufacturer is actually one of our investors as well. So this is Alpine Electronics from Japan. On the other hand, we are having both consumer electronics, device manufacturers, wearable devices manufacturers, as well partners that are still developing, adapting our technology for their products. This is extremely growing market, and we are looking at expanding this list as well.
You were the winner from the last year, so how much funding you already got?
We are closing Series B round right now. We have 2 rounds, two times participation from Intel Capital at this point. We also have Alpine Electronics, as I mentioned, and as we speak, we are closing a round with one of the largest mobile solutions providers in the US, that is putting us both in mobile kiosks, governmental related projects, etc.
So how many languages people can talk?
So we are currently implementing in 11 languages, including Cantonese and Mandarin, for instance, and both graphic styles in Chinese. We are expanding when it comes to other languages. We normally need at about 2 months per language to onboard a new language.
So how does that work? What people will talk? Why are they talking to machine?
They're looking for mostly information that they can get hands-free from the devices. They're looking at learning about different things from the machine as well. So hands-free operations is probably the most interesting part, and especially with the legislation in cars, etc. But whatever you can find on internet online, you can actually get very handy just using the speech.
So what's the biggest challenge you guys have?
Well, this is extremely complicated technology. There is a number of other technological solutions that are part of the artificial intelligence solutions. Humans building artificial intelligence is a fantasy for hundreds of years already, and we are getting there. We are still not there, but us depending on different technologies, especially speech recognition, is at this point the main challenge.
How do you see the opportunities in the market?
markets are growing exponentially, and we are really happy with seeing that both wearable devices that don't have any other input style as well are significantly looking for our solution. Cars as well, etc. So I think that within the next couple of years or so, our market will at least quadruple.
So tell us something about your team.
It's 33 people team. We have 27 engineers, out of which both IT developers and knowledge-based developers. We're extremely proud of our team. We have strong IP. We filed a number of patents as well. But we are predominantly technical, engineering-focused company.
Okay, good luck, Darko.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, when you start your company, you probably need many help. You need a mentor, you need an investor, you need partners, your marketing, and somebody to work together and give you suggestions. And Plug and Play might be a good choice for you. Thank you for being with us. I'm Diana Ding. See you next time. As a startup in Silicon Valley, innovation is our DNA. It's inside our blood. What is innovation?
Very confident.
It's a way of thinking, it's a philosophy, it's a mindset. It's very closely related to leadership.
For me, it's really about finding the right fit between the product and the market.
Have a strong technology position, a strong market impact.
Innovation can be an idea, can be a product, can be a service, or can be a thinking. It can be everything, out-of-box thinking, not limited to your background, to the past. Welcome to Innovation Dialogue. I'm Diana Ding, and today we are going to talk about Cloud Festival. Today we have Carrie Davis, and she's here to share her story, which is so inspiring. What we are doing here is to summarize, bring out the point, and give a good presentation. Help people to bring out their idea to the whole world.
It's very important to be able to spot human talent and to be a good leader.
More importantly, it's how our corporate and partners perceive the value that's come out of the event.
It was all about seizing the opportunity rather than looking at the world as a set of problems.
I want to change the paradigm of angel investing being local. I want all of us to think global and to look at great opportunities in Asia or Europe, wherever it is in the world.
Come to Ding Ding TV. Let us work together to bring out your idea to share with the whole world.